Hey guys, welcome to the next episode. Today we're moving on to the main cabin of the car, and starting with the rear half. This is what it looks like at the moment. The good thing is we've stripped it bare down to the metal, so we've got an area to start working on. The first thing to do is just give it a good tidy up. Take out anything that's not required, get in here with a vacuum and clean it all up, and then I think we'll start the sound deadening on the door card area, clean up that wiring, and then start on the area under the seats. So that's the next section. I'll get started on that and be back soon. Okay, we've got the back all cleaned up, vacuumed out. So now we're ready to start removing parts that are just going to get in the way. So first of all, we're going to take out these seat belts. That's just a T50 to take out those two. Also want to get rid of the B pillar on the side here, on both sides. Once again, that's pretty simple. Down here, you basically have to take the end of this seatbelt flap out. That's just under a cover. There's a T50 here that you undo, and then you can just wiggle this post out and then slide the end of the belt off, and that can then feed through here and allow you to take that B pillar out. So that's pretty simple as well. And then I'm going to take a peek behind these silver panels, see if I can get to the skin of the car that way. And all of this wiring and stuff we're just going to have to kind of work around. So I'll pull those things out quickly and be back soon. Okay, we've got those bits and pieces out. So the seat belts are gone. I put the bolts back in so I know where they are and not to cover that area up. The seat belt's also been disconnected from the bottom here. Just undid the T50 and then slid the end of the belt, which is just a loop off the supporting bar, which allows you to get that B pillar out. So behind these white strengthening sections is just the inside, or the skin of the outer skin of the car. You can see they've got a bit of factory sound dampening in there. So what I'm going to do next is basically sound dampen inside that void. You can see it a little bit better over here on the passenger side. But I'm going to sound dampen that section, put those silver plates back in, and then sound dampen the rest of that passenger side door area. So I will be back a little bit later and with a bit of a progress update. Cheers. Alright, we're making progress with this sound deadening on the inside skin where the rear doors would be on a four-door. So basically one big strip, one sheet of sound deadening there, and probably another half there, another 2/3 of a sheet that runs right on behind the seat belt retractor. So probably 2.5 sheets for each side, and still have a couple of little bits to do, including this floor here. It sounds a bit drummy. But if I give that a tap, it's sounding a lot more solid than it did before we put the deadening on. So the next question is, do I deaden the outside skin here or come at it from behind? And given that the door cards are going to attach back onto here, and it might make a lot more sense to sound deaden from behind. So these bits are quite drummy around here. So I think what I'll do is apply the sound deadening inside this, and that then gives more room for the rear door cards to clip on without interference. So I'll go and do a bit of work on that and come back and show you what I've done. Alright guys, still working on the sound deadening of the rear panel door skin. So a little bit hard to see in there, sorry about the quality, but pretty much got all of this sound deadened up now, including the bottom of the floor as far as I can. So now going to sound deaden all of these sections. It's a good idea to wear gloves because things are pretty sharp in there, and essentially what I'm doing is cutting out sections which will then fit. So the other thing just to keep an eye out on is once you do fit these pieces in like this, that's about there, just press it into position after it's sort of cut out like that, and it really needs to roll it, make sure it adheres to the surface, otherwise it won't be effective. The difficult to reach parts is the end of the pointy end of the roller. Okay, so that's in. So what I'll have to remember to do is this little hole here is probably used for one of the clips, so make sure that's not blocked, so I need to punch that through. So that's, I need to continue that treatment right down the side here and into this under panel, and all the way around there, and then that will be blocked, sorry, that'll all be sound deadened up, and then I'll cut a piece of mass loaded vinyl and just to fix it in there to provide some extra sound deadening, and that should allow us to have a pretty clean surface on this side to remount the rear door card. Okay, so I'll continue on with that and come back and join you a bit later. Just to give you a bit more detail about this mass loaded vinyl piece, so I took the tracing paper and fitted inside the door and sort of cut out the shape that we needed, and then transferred that to the sheet of mass loaded vinyl, and then cut the first one out, test fitted it, and now I'm going to cut out the opposite side. Make sure you have the two faces so you don't end up with exact, you need a mirror image of the thing, otherwise you'll end up with a piece that you won't use. Just traced it out with a Sharpie and ready to cut it, and there you go, as easy as that. Okay guys, got that mass loaded vinyl sheet in with a couple of wrinkles. Applied upholstery adhesive to both the door skin and the rear of the mass loaded vinyl, and as soon as they come in contact they grab and hold like hell. So it's in and covered. The driver's side also with a wrinkle, but that's pretty solid and dampened, and can't do much better than that. I don't think this wrinkle's going to make much of a difference, to be honest, but it's going to be behind the door trim, so you're not going to see it, but anyway, so that's in, and that's the inside of the skin done. Now I'm going to move on to this section and get that all done up. Be right back. Alright, just another quick update. Treated those silver panels that go into the door card area. So that's the driver's side one, and the passenger side one over here. So that's sounding pretty solid. So that's pretty much the sound deadening done on the rear door card area. I'm now going to move on and do some acoustic foam just around some of these parts, before we test fit the door card, and then that will be pretty much the rear door card area done. So I'll go and do some more and catch up with you shortly. So just looking at these rear door card areas, I was going to treat it with some acoustic foam, but when I've put the door card in, it fits pretty flush up with these surfaces, and remembering the door card's already been treated with sound deadener and has that stock foam insert which pretty much covers all of these areas and goes into this void here. So I really want to keep away from the seatbelt area, so that really leaves a little strip here, and once again you've got the points that the armrests screw into in these two little areas, and the holes where the door card clips into. So there's not a lot of area that really needs treatment, and as I said, the treatment's really in the door card itself. So I'm going to move on to the next section, which is basically going to be tidying up these wiring looms, and then sort of getting that out of the way. So that's the plan, and I will catch you shortly with an update. Hey guys, I'm just wiring up the crossovers for the rears. Basically just taking the wires and using one of these little fork connectors, just crimping them onto the end of the wire, and they just slip in underneath the mounting clamp here. So the blue wires are coming in from the amp. The wires on this side then go straight to the mids, and the wire on the other side just goes through the crossover, ends up at the tweeters. So that's kind of all done. I'll test tape up some of those leads in a moment and tuck that down into a nice safe spot where it won't rattle, and that will be the crossover wiring done. Hey guys, the last update for the day. So all the wiring is finished and tester taped and foam wrapped and put back into position. Here on the passenger side, what I've done is put some foam around that channel so that nothing will rattle. Foam wrapped all the wiring. It's all back into place, and so basically we've got the speaker wires ready to go back in, and then the seat belt butler and the little fiber optic cable to power that little orange nightlight. And yep, so the door cards are pretty much ready to go, and that's it for another day. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next episode.